Jets making a QB move for the future? Interesting. Let's discuss. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh-darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
You're fucking wrong!
What's going on, everybody? Paul Winston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your friggin' podcasts, baby. And we're here on a Monday, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Victory Thursday, Victory Friday, Victory Saturday, and Victory Sunday. Guess what? The Dolphins lost. Excellent for AFC East news, and we got the Bills tonight. Go Jags. But that's neither here nor there. We'll get into all that jazz perhaps in a little bit. Let's get right into it. There is a very, very juicy trade rumor involving the New York Jets and the Carolina Panthers. You know, the Panthers benched Bryce Young, the number one overall pick in the 2023 NFL draft. And ESPN NFL Insider, we have a full article that has more details on this in the YouTube description down below. ESPN NFL insider Dan Graziano said, quote, "Don't sleep on the Jets as a landing spot if the Panthers make him available." And according to Adam Schefter, while the Panthers publicly have said that they're not moving him, Adam Schefter has heard that, quote, "Sources around the league believe it is only a matter of time before Carolina completes a deal involving the second-year quarterback." Now, the Jets' present at quarterback is terrific. We have Aaron Rodgers. He looks awesome. It's great to have Aaron Rodgers. He's got a great backup, Tyrod Taylor. I think he's one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league. Terrific. So you got QB1 locked in. You got QB2 locked in. But who is the future for the New York Jets? Now, normally when I've been asked this question this offseason, when I've joined other podcasts and things, I've said, I don't care, because I don't. Because I'm worried about the right now. I don't care about the future. But I'm not the general manager. Joe Douglas is the general manager of the New York Jets. His job is to have one foot in the present and one foot in the future. That's his role. Me as a fan, I can worry about whatever the hell I choose to worry about. But I'm going to be honest, this is sort of interesting. Aaron Rodgers, of course, is 40 years of age. In a couple of months, he's going to turn 41. The Jets, of course, as I'm seeing it in the comments, Jordan Travis. Everyone talk about Jordan Travis. And Ricky New York, that's his guy. But let's be honest here. Jordan Travis, number one, is an older prospect. He's already 24. He's coming off a very serious injury from college. He hasn't played this year or even been active, and he probably won't be this season. He's probably redshirting the entire year. And Jordan Travis was taken at the end of the 5th round. Now, part of that draft stock, obviously, was him getting injured and him falling a little bit. But from speaking with NFL draft analysts this offseason, they said the Jets' hope with Jordan Travis should be that hopefully he's a long-term backup quarterback. It's a franchise quarterback. I don't know about all that, but maybe he could just be a long-term backup, which, by the way, wouldn't be a bad option. Because Tyrod Taylor, he's 35. You need a long-term QB2. That is a valuable asset in the NFL. But in terms of franchise quarterback, well, there's very few people that believe he can be. It was a worthwhile dart throw. Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe he will be one day. Who knows? But we don't know for sure that he is, obviously. So the Jets owe it to themselves to continue to peek, to continue to look around, to see if they can get a franchise quarterback, a guy to develop behind the scenes. Hey, you have Aaron Rodgers as QB1. You got Tyrod Taylor as QB2. Why not a developmental guy, QB3? What do you have to lose? If it works out, great. You got a franchise quarterback after Rodgers. If it doesn't, so what? You're paying like a half-eaten Snickers bar for Bryce Young right now. They're not going to get diddly for him. He's been terrible. And shout out to Oscar the Grouch. Good morning, Boy Green. It's the first time I've caught a live show. Appreciate you. Welcome in, Oscar. Welcome in, everybody. The hundreds of people that are in the room. Make sure you guys like the video. Hit subscribe down below. Appreciate the support. Thank you very much. We're getting closer and closer to 7,000 subscribers. We're oh so close, baby. So keep it rolling. Also, the Boy Green Coffee Club, my YouTube membership group, is growing wildly. We appreciate that. But why not take a dart throw? Because here's the thing, and Jets, I mean, we know this better than anybody. Situation is important to determine a quarterback. Sometimes you have a quarterback and he sucks. Well, okay. Like Zach Wilson. Okay. He sucked on the Jets. Well, he sucked in Denver from the offseason we saw. A couple of spurts in preseason, but let's be real. Okay. We don't know. But what we don't know, like the preseason, but we do know, like he stinks. He'd stink here, it'd stink anywhere. Okay. But some quarterbacks we draft, they stink here. We're like, oh, geez, must be them. And then they get sent off and they bounce around a little bit. Then they find success. Sam Darnold, yeah, that guy's looked pretty good, huh? In Minnesota, all you Sam sexuals out there, huh? You celebrating old Sam Darnold? He was drafted by the Jets. He's kind of bounced around. Geno Smith, poster child. He's bounced around from Jets land. He's a pretty good quarterback out there in Seattle. They're 3-0. They're first place in the NFC West. Who had that on their bingo card? So the Jets should know more than anyone that sometimes it's the situation that sucks, not just the player. So is Bryce Young terrible? Is he a bust? Maybe. That's possible. That's within the realm of possibilities, if we're being honest. It's within the realm of possibilities. But also in the realm of possibilities is that the Carolina Panthers are a dysfunctional franchise that with a trigger-happy owner that's fired and one and done like a bunch of coaches in a row. That doesn't sound like a promising breeding ground for successful quarterbacks. So I think you could say that maybe Bryce Young sucked because anyone would have sucked in that scenario. Now, I'm aware that the Panthers blew the barn doors off the Raiders, and by the way, I predicted it. I thought the quarterback change would help. Andy Dalton's a veteran. He knows NFL. They've got some pieces. Xavier Legette, first-round draft choice wide receiver. Deontay Johnson, okay? You traded for him this offseason. I like Chuba Hubbard in the backfield. They still don't have Jonathan Brooks. He's going to be pretty good. They invested a ton of money on the offensive line. I think the Panthers are better than what we believe they were. I think so. But I don't think just because you had him, Andy Dalton come in there, immediate success means Bryce Young is even worse. He's a youngster. He's a youngin'. So I don't know. To me, I think it's worth a roundhouse kick of the tires. I think it's a roundhouse kick. Let's go to my favorite Austrian Jet fan real quick. And says the obvious. We're not the best, speaking of the Jets, in developing quarterbacks. I agree with that. And let me read the rest of Austrian Jet fans' comments here. I'd rather go with a veteran backup, not take an unsure project again. Austrian, what you say is true. I can't deny it. The Jets have been absolutely god-awful at developing quarterbacks. But because they've been awful, are we never going to develop a quarterback ever again? Well, no, obviously not. Just because we've been bad doesn't mean we're snake bitten to be bad forever. You can't just give up. You got to try again. It's a quarterback-driven league. You can't give up. But what better development plan is there than having Aaron Rodgers, a four-time NFL MVP, a first-ballot Pro Football Hall of Famer, 5 years after he decides to retire? And Tyrod Taylor, by the way, he's got stories to tell. He's bounced around the league. He's been starter. He's been veteran backup. He's been guy trying to make the league. I mean, I think it's a great quarterback room. Adding another guy to that room through basically osmosis should be just dandy. In terms of that. So I'm going to be honest. While the Jets have been terrible in the past, that doesn't guarantee they'll be terrible forever. Why not add him to the room? Aaron Rodgers, also in the article down below, he liked Bryce Young. They share an agent. There might be a little bit of connective tissue there. Maybe Aaron Rodgers can impart some wisdom in the young man. He's still only 23. Again, now, did I think Bryce Young was going to be a great success coming out of the draft? Actually, I did not. He's got historic size. And historic size not in a good way, in a bad way. There's been no one that has been that small, that weight, that combination that has been a success in the league. And while every record is meant to be broken, well, him coming into the league, I didn't go, woo, Bryce Young is about to take over. I was like, ooh, I don't feel, if I had the number one pick, I would not be making that kind of history of taking a guy with that kind of historic small size. And again, I'm a vertically challenged myself, to be honest with you, but That would not have been a pick I would have made. By the way, Dalt, shout out to you. It's awesome for the Seahawks and Vikings, both NFC teams. We have a chance to see them in the Super Bowl. We also have a chance to see both of them this season. We see the Vikings in London and the Seahawks after the bye. Also, Dalt, we lost your Boy Green membership. You got to renew that sucker, baby. And you can do that. That is the pinned comment on youtube.com/BoyGreen25. Click that. You can rejoin the Boy Green Coffee Club. That's also an option available for all of you guys in the YouTube description. Join the Boy Green Coffee Club here in the YouTube description. Go click. $2.99 a month. That's all it is, baby. Or gifter membership if you're watching on YouTube. Just click that money sign. Final option gift memberships. Boop. 1, 3, 5, 10, 25, 50. You can gift as many memberships as you'd like, baby. Let's spread the love to the rest of our Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. Feel free. Get involved. Get loyalty badge. You get shout outs on the show. You get our Discord, which has been a lot of fun. We shared some exclusive pictures, videos, and all kinds of wonderful action there in the Discord as well. So let's get Dalt back in there. Only $2.99 a month. Best deal in the world. But I'm telling you, Bryce Young could be terrible. Again, I admit that. I absolutely admit that. But there's a chance he's not. And I think that's a chance worth taking. It's not like Bryce Young's going to cost a first-round pick, second-round pick. What's he going to cost? It's going to cost a bag of beans, man. Has benched the first overall pick like in his 18th start. They obviously don't believe in him anymore, but that doesn't mean everyone else shouldn't. Oh, there we go, baby. Dalt gifting a membership. I don't know if it gifted it to himself. We're about to find that out in a second, but let's hit the chimes. Yeah, there we go. A new member. Every time we hear the NFL draft chimes, two things happen. One, an angel gets, and number two, someone gets a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. And guaranteed, Jet, you are now a Boy Green Coffee Club member, baby. Which reminds us, we got to update the old play sheet here. That takes us to 54 members away from old Johnny Boy getting his membership. We got the scrolling ticker now. Thank you, Dalt, for that gifted membership, my friend. There we go, baby. 54 members away from Johnny Boy. Let's see. Phil says, Kyler Murray brought up the stick on small quarterbacks and Young just crashed the market. Yeah, you know, it goes up and down. The stock market kind of climbs and goes. Got to ride the waves, baby. Also, guaranteed Jet Jerby just dropped the Discord link. You click that and follow the instructions in the rules tab, and you can join our Discord. Blitz BK, Boy Green, it was a pleasure meeting you at the game. That was a great tailgate. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming. That was a lot of fun. I appreciate it. Love meeting you too, Blitz, and everybody. We met a lot of great people. So it's cool to connect the dots, man. It is absolutely connect the dots. That's a lot of fun. Super cool. The Meadowlands Swamp Thing. Fatten Boy Green's wallet, people. Please. The man works so hard for us. I appreciate that. Yes. The more you guys invest, the more I can invest in the show, which I love to do. NC says, good thing Denver won. Word the Jets might take them for granted. I can't remember where I said this or what show, but I thought it would be impossible for the Jets to overlook Denver because of the Sean Payton factor of like Aaron Rodgers would never forget that. But you're right. There's an additional layer here that gets added to the pile because Denver blew the barn doors off of Tampa, was an undefeated team coming in. They were looking pretty good. And it's all this A plus B equals C stuff, right? So, like, Tampa beats Detroit. We're like, whoa, Tampa's the team. Tampa gets taken out by Denver. Like, is Denver the team? Huh? Who, what? Who, what? It's hard to keep up with the equations. But I'll tell you that, yeah, that only helps. Hopefully the Jets were minding their P's and Q's anyway, because they got some big games coming up. Denver's big, but you got Minnesota, Week 5 London, Week 6 Monday Night Football. You got to stack up the wins. And the Jets have extra time heading into this one, which is nice. And yes, I'm seeing the JT3 chants. Ricky New York would be very proud of you, Frizit. He'd be very proud of you. And yes, I agree that Kyler Murray obviously is built different than Bryce Young. Bryce Young was much more slender. Kyler Murray was short and stocky. So he had some chutzpah, had some beef, had a foundation. for putting that together. William says Vikes and Broncos will definitely present challenges to the Jets. I don't think the Broncos will. I'm going to be honest. Vikings, sure. Yeah. Let's see how the Jets react to Sam Darnold. But Broncos, come on, man. I'm completely overlooking the Broncos. But maybe when I talk to Denver Broncos people this week, maybe life will change for me. Oh, there you go. Cool. Dalt says, I'll be at the game Sunday. I cannot wait. First NFL I'll ever be attending to. I want a 40-piece from the Jets to kick the crap out of the Broncos. I think they do kick the crap out of the Broncos, Dalt. That's awesome. My mom went to her first NFL game, Jets-Patriots Thursday night. That was awesome. So, yeah, enjoy it, man. It's going to be special. Even I am more aware or been to a lot more 1 o'clock games in my Jets history. I'd never been to a primetime game. 1 o'clock games are fun too, man. Absolutely fun. They should kick their butt. Shadow Realm. I'm not seeing the cupcakes games the league assumes in our schedule after week 3. Now let's pull up the schedule. I mean, I just said a bunch of them that we have in a row. I still don't believe in Pittsburgh, man. I don't know. I know they're undefeated, but it just doesn't feel it. So you got Denver. That's a cakewalk. Minnesota. That'll be tough. Buffalo. That'll be tough. Again, I don't believe in Pittsburgh, man. That defense is awesome, but I think when our Jets defense faces Justin Fields, I think we're going to find old turnover boy that's been hiding in there. He just wants to burst out of his skin. At New England, take care of business. Houston, yeah, they're pretty good. Arizona, yeah, they're pretty good. Indy, again, I think our Jets defense is going to give Indy a lot of problems. Seattle, yeah, sure. Geno Smith. I like that game's at home instead of us going to the West Coast. At Miami, oh boy, Skylar Thompson got hurt now. It's about to be Tim Boyle time in Miami. How the times and turntables have Tim Boyle time in Miami. All those Dolphins fans that made fun of us. LOL. I don't root for injuries, but LOL, buddy. Ooh, I'm crying. That is hilarious. Jacksonville's winless to this point, and I like smacking around Trevor Lawrence. We'll see. They got some talent, though. The Rams, the gutty win against San Francisco yesterday. Very gutty. That'll be a good game. Again, thankfully, we're hosting another West Coast team. At Buffalo, that's always a tough place to play. And home for Miami, the final week of the season. What could that entail? What could that mean at that point in the year? That'll be kind of interesting. So I think we do have a few cupcakes, but overall, we got to handle our business, obviously. And it's hard for us to speak about cupcakes and things of that nature. We haven't been to the playoffs in 13 years, for Pete's sake. So we just got to keep handling our business, stack them up, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0 each week, and then go, whoa, we got 10, whoa, we got 11, whoa, we got 12, whoa, we got whatever we got. I think that's the way to do it. Alan jumping on here. I live 20 minutes from where Murray started in high school, Phil. People still talk about his greatness here. Murray, remember, was top 10 pick in football and baseball. Amazing athlete. Yeah, he's just so squirrely, man. His ability to, keep plays alive in the pocket. Woo, 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 woo. He's just zigzagging. Hoo-ha, hoo-ha, hoo-ha. And you're like, whoa. Very cool. He's a very fun player to watch. PC Mud 87. San Francisco's only win is against the Jets. Crazy. And I will tell you that, again, of course, we all would have rather beat San Francisco than not beat San Francisco. But if you could have documented it like this, you have 3 games into the season. You're 2-0 in the AFC. You're 1-0 in the AFC East. Not bad. Not bad. These NFC games are the one, again, you want to win all of them. But if you're ever going to have losses in the NFC, not a bad place to have them. Allen, BG, asked Bronco beat writer about Moss, Iowa grade, who grew up a Jet fan. Oh, cool. Oh, I will have to look into that. Yeah, I already scheduled the Broncos person for Thursday. I'm trying to get another one, Thursday afternoon show. I'm going to get a few on the morning show, too, if I can connect the dots. I'll keep you guys posted on that. Jared B says, Snoop Huntley will pass up Boyle by next Sunday. Even if he does, come on, man. This is funny. Absolutely funny. Hey, man, you got to do it. Dalt says we're sweeping the Pats and the Finch this year. We haven't swept the Pats since I'm pretty sure it was the year 2000. I should write it down. I looked it up earlier in the year, but I can't remember. It's 2000 or 2001. And the Dolphins, I haven't looked that one up in a while. The only one I cared about was New England. But yeah, I mean, let's handle our business inside the division. Let's win the division for the first time since 2002. Let's get the guaranteed home playoff game. That's what I'm talking about, baby. For sure. PC Mud 87 says we could face 3 extra Jets quarterbacks. Yeah, Geno and Sam for sure. And then it depends. I don't think we're seeing Zach Wilson, but he'll be on the team at least. J-Boy says, why would the Jets trade for a quarterback when they have Jordan? Jay, was Jordan Travis drafted in the first round? The second round? The third round? Wait, it's a fifth-round pick, man. It's a no-nothing. Now, again, I hope Jordan Travis works out, but, fifth-round picks have been drafted by the Jets and cut months later. Jordan Travis is not a reason you shouldn't acquire another quarterback. Absolutely not. And what have you seen from Jordan? Spoiler alert, nothing. Now, again, if he's the next franchise quarterback of the Jets, blessed be he. But the defense of we got Jordan Travis, Paul, what are we talking about? What has Jordan Travis shown? Nothing is what he has shown. Come on, man. Now, I don't know if Bryce Young is the guy, but Jordan Travis, if we know anything, remember this, folks, Jet fans? Let's take a trip down memory lane, right? You remember when the Jets took Christian Hackenberg with the 50th overall pick? Great times. The only reason we all remember Christian Hackenberg, but one of the reasons is Christian Hackenberg's little brother. I cover one of my other jobs is Syracuse Mets. His little brother's a pitcher in the minor leagues. So I just saw his brother here in town at Syracuse. I was like, oh yeah, Christian Hackenberg, good times. The Jets drafted Christian Hackenberg. And you want to know what they said, Jay? They said just what you said. Oh, well, we can't take another quarterback. We took Christian Hackenberg. You know the quarterback they passed up on? Patrick Mahomes. That's who they passed up on. The Jets passed up on Patrick Mahomes, took Jamal Adams, which, by the way, worked out because we get Garrett Wilson and Elijah Tucker and all the trade and all that worked out, relatively speaking. But the Jets said to themselves, well, we can't take a quarterback 6 overall. We just took Christian Hackenberg. Christian Hackenberg never played a snap for the Jets. So, Jay, my point is Jordan Travis could be the guy. He might not be the guy. Bryce Young could be the guy. He could not be the guy. I don't know. Excuse me. But we should not allow previous selections to affect the future based solely off the fact that, well, we did draft him. Well, it should be on the information since you drafted. If you drafted, you're like, whoa, this guy's different. Then, okay, that's a different conversation. We haven't heard that. And, of course, we haven't heard it because we haven't seen him on the field. He has not been cleared. He's on the NFI list. That is the non-football injury/illness list. His injury from college has prevented him from playing at this level so far. So don't let that affect you. And I don't care if you're not a Bryce Young person, then fine, because he's very historic with his size. Again, that is unique in the NFL. Fine, if it's not Bryce, fine. We can agree on that. Let's go to somebody else then. But we should do our due diligence at the game's most important position. I hope Aaron Rodgers is here for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I hope he defies Father Time and he's playing until he's 45. As far as I'm concerned, that'd be great. But you have to be prepared. That's Joe Douglas's job. 1 foot in the present, 1 foot in the future at all times. Tyrod Taylor ain't the future. He's 35. Rodgers ain't the future. He's 40. Is it Jordan Travis? Maybe. But maybe not. We have to be prepared for that. And see, Casey just knows how to win. They could be 0-3. It's unbelievable, man. I mean, they got a freaking rabbit's foot shoved up their ass. That's it. I mean, unbelievable. They should have lost last night, week 1 with a half a foot. I mean, unfriggin' believable. This team is just dodging bullets. Now, maybe that is a team of destiny, and they're just destined to win, and they find ways to win, or they're coming due for a smacking, which could come. I mean, Travis Kelce, all of it is just bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. EZ says he was a 5th-round pick because he was hurt. I'm sure he dropped a little lower than he did because of the 5th-round pick. But from what I hear from NFL people, NFL analysts, that doesn't mean they're right. I'm just telling you who I've heard from. They think his ceiling is a backup quarterback. And that was before the injury. They just don't think he has the necessary skills to elevate. Okay, they could be wrong. Tom Brady, right? He was a 6th-round pick. But they say, the people that say, he would have been a 1st-round pick or a 2nd-round pick if he didn't get hurt. That seems like some fairy dust. Now, that's true. Dalt says FSU looks bad without Jordan. Sure. They also lost a bunch of other really talented guys. Keon Coleman is gone. Go through all the other talented Florida State people that left that program. Exactly. There it is. R&R said what I was saying live. We had Hackenberg. No need to draft Mahomes. That's what we said. Remember that, people. That's what we said. That's what we said. And that's dumb. And it was solely for the reason that we just drafted a quarterback. So, well, we drafted a guy. I don't know what we think about, but we drafted a guy. And apparently they thought so less of him that he never appeared on the field. How bad do you have to be that you wouldn't even try it? I mean, you used the 50th overall pick. Why not? I mean, how bad do you have to be to not even attempt it? That's beyond me. Alan, BG, how about those Stanford Cardinal? Yeah, we will be talking about that. My good buddy Brent Axe will be coming in studio on the radio show. So if you guys are interested in my Syracuse football thoughts, I have a lot of things to yell about with the Syracuse football loss on Friday night to Stanford for the first loss of the season. I'll be at my radio show, the Score 1260, score1260.com, and for free on the Score 1260 app. I'm on the radio 10 to 12 Monday through Friday. You guys can hear my thoughts on that. I have things to say. But let's keep the Jet conversation going. Let me answer a few more questions, and we'll open up the phone lines here. Malik Willis. Yeah, shout out to Malik. That's good for him. Matt LaFleur, pretty good coach, I'd say. Pretty good coach. He deserves a lot of love for what they've been doing. A lot of love. I mean, that's impressive. Without your starting quarterback being able to do that, that's pretty good. All right, screw it. Let's just open up the phone lines right now. Let's do it. I've just dropped the link in, and we have now replaced it as the pin message. If you guys would like to call into today's show, feel free to do so. We have 800 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, and that is youtube.com/boygreen25. If you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on Facebook, Heavy on Jets, you must hop on over to YouTube to be able to call in the show. And plus, that's the primary way you should be listening. You can like the video. You can hit subscribe. You can join the Boy Green Coffee Club. All wonderful things happen in the Boy Green Daily Sanctuary. That is our YouTube channel. All right, with that being said, hey, before I do that, let me see this from Chris Cortez. Next week, I buy a coffee mug from your store, Boy Green, add to my sports mug collection. Beautiful, Chris Cortez. That is in the Boy Green merch shop, which, of course, that link is down in the YouTube description of every show. So feel free to do that. There's shirts, hats, mugs, you name it. Also, after you buy it, make sure you tag me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I'll give you a shout out. Appreciate it. Well, let's go to the phone lines. We'll go to boy EZ on the program. What's up, EZ?
Good morning. Start out the week with a bang.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, the only guy I want from the Panthers is Jadeveon Clowney.
Oh, please. I love Jadeveon Clowney. I love that guy.
And I was very upset that they won yesterday because I was hoping they'd keep screwing up and we could get Clowney at the trade deadline. That would have been perfect timing.
Yeah, he's an elite
provided he was
defender.
Healthy.
Yeah, well, of course. That's like people have asked because we played the Broncos this week. Ooh, can we figure out a give backsy on JFM? I'm pretty sure he's still hurt. I'm pretty sure he's still concussed, but I'll have to double check that. But yeah, I love Clowney. He's an elite run defender, and he's got a high floor as a pass rusher. Now, the ceiling, he's never been a double-digit sack pass rusher, but maybe he can get there on this team and the talent we have. Yeah, 100%. Right. He's a 5. He's had at least 4.5 sacks in 6 of his first 10 seasons. That's pretty good.
He's a good player. He's steady and solid. You know what you're going to get out of him, so that's a good thing. Now, here's one of the pluses for the Jets.
Okay.
We have just given a shit ton of film for other coaches to study based on all the blitzes we did last week.
Sure. That's true.
Yeah, to most of these guys, we're a 4 rushing down lineman kind of team, and now with all these new guys zipping in and out, and Sherwood playing good in place of C.J. Mosley, they got a lot to worry about. We got a great defense.
Yeah, Yeah, I love that. I love that Bo Nix and the Broncos are going to be wasting time worrying about blitz packages this week because I would do it again. He's a young quarterback. I would absolutely light him up with all kinds of kitchen sink style blitzes. And I know that's not normally their MO, but hey, Jeff Ulbrich, dip into the bag, my man. Depending on the matchup, this is another matchup I like it.
And at this point, I'm starting to question the sanity of Haason Reddick.
Yeah, let me. Here's the numbers. Let's go to it. I have
How much?
here
Yeah, how much has he lost now?
Oh my goodness. Here is the number. 1 second. Here we go. Ah, here it is. Oh boy, here we go. We'll throw it up on the screen and give you all the numbers, which is unbelievable. I don't know what the end game is here, but I'm not Haason Reddick's agent. So here we go. This is his update on lost money thus far. He's lost $2.4 million in game checks, $4.5 million in NFL mandated fines, $1.4 million in discretionary fines. Beep boop bop. That total is $8.3 million lost in the first 3 weeks of the season, and he was only scheduled to make $14.25 million this year. So you do the math, you could see that he's going to start owing the NFL and the Jets money before too long.
Well, I have to now give him the quantified Bugs Bunny insult.
Okay.
What an ignoramus.
I mean, honestly,
I mean, you lose that kind of money, he's going to wind up owing more than he was going to make.
Exactly. Yeah. And the Jets will still have his rights next year. Like, it'd be one thing if he did this in some weird way and there was a path to him not, like, he could continue to sit out forever and he could become a free agent. It would be crazy, but I'm like, okay, I could kind of see it. Like, there's no seeing it. There is no he is getting older. Happy birthday, by the way. Haason Reddick turned 30 yesterday.
Yeah,
So
but I mean, I can't understand that there's no conversations going on at this point. He's missed 3 game checks. He's going to miss a 4th game check against a team that he could probably feast on as far as getting numbers and sacks, with Bo Nix.
He's missed 6 game checks because preseason counts as well as game checks. So he's missed all 3 of those plus these 3. So that is 6 game checks lost.
That's just, I just don't understand. All he had to do was just show up, wear the jet hat, and work out, ride the bike, lift weights, stay in shape, get to know the guys, and just and he wouldn't have lost a dime.
Yeah, he might have gotten some discretionary fines, but he would have saved, what is the math on that? He would have saved $6.9 million at least with the game check money and the NFL mandated fines. He would have lost that. So yeah, long story short, he would have saved $6.9 million, and he might have only been fined around $1 million maybe. I'm kind of rounding some of the numbers because if he was healthy and the Jets said play and he didn't, they could get into that Brandon Ayuk territory of working in creative fines. But for the most part, you're right. Showing up would have saved him a ton of money. Yeah.
And he's done this with other teams too.
What?
Like been when it comes to his money, he's aired his laundry out, before. Everything should have been just kept quiet. He should have showed up, gone and negotiated. But anyway, enough of him. The Thursday game was great. Aaron Rodgers looked like he was 30 years old again. He got everybody involved. You're not going to be able to stop Garrett Wilson for long because once they start throwing to 7, 8 other different guys, Garrett's going to get his stuff. He's going to get his. Plus the fact he can catch a pass that is uncatchable for other receivers. That touchdown was that was a risky throw.
Oh, yeah. If Zach Wilson throws that, that's a pick 6, 100 yards to the house. But Aaron Rodgers can have the balls to throw that because he's Aaron friggin' Rodgers. He threw it perfectly. Whereas Garrett Wilson catching it or no one. So pretty good stuff from Rodgers.
How many other quarterbacks do you think could have made that throw?
Maybe 2 or 3 on the planet. Maybe it'd be Mahomes, maybe it'd be Rodgers, and then I'd have to stress to think of who the other guy is that would have that kind of accuracy to make that
maybe
throw.
Peyton Manning or someone like that.
Probably not Peyton Manning because Aaron Rodgers was off his back foot when he was throwing it. Like he was almost like curving the bullet like the movie Wanted. So like Peyton Manning doesn't have that kind of mobility.
That was a great movie.
Yeah, very good. Very, very nice. So like that's what I mean. Like Aaron, if you go back and watch the play, like Rodgers rolled out and was like midair when he threw it. So probably not Manning either. I don't know. I'd have to think long and hard about who could have made something like that, which goes to show you how great it has been.
So how was Mrs. Boy Green? How did she enjoy the football?
So she didn't get to go to the game because she was on babysitting duty for all the children involved because my parents were there too, and I have siblings. So she was holding down the fort back of the hotel, but she was watching the game, and yeah, it was awesome. It was just a great experience, though. And like I said, we're working on things behind the scenes to see if maybe we can host a tailgate moving forward and get more of the Boy Green Coffee Club members there. That'd be cool with more planning and more notice and heads up and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully we can.
Yeah, if you could work out a Sunday 1 o'clock game, I will try to make that.
Yeah,
I just
we'll
can't do prime time during the week because I'm working. You see, I'm working now. I'm always working.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah. So that's what it'll be under consideration. We're going to try to find a game that can fit as many people as possible schedules. That's the plan.
Yeah, because I got to fly out of RDU in Raleigh, and then I'm going to probably fly into what's the airport in Jersey right there, Newark.
And Newark, yes, yeah.
And then they got a train goes right from the airport right to the stadium. It's pretty
nice.
great.
So I didn't even know that. I've never flown in there. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years ago when my niece got married, I was up there for Halloween, and that's when I went to that Halloween game.
Nice.
I was up there. I said, "Well, the wedding's on Saturday. I'm going to the damn game on Sunday." And then me and my son, we flew back. But it was good. We had a good time. My son didn't go in the stadium. He stayed out in the and he was just tailgating with everybody out in the parking lot.
Oh, nice.
He was going to go in with me, but the tickets no one wanted to discount him a ticket.
Yeah. Those are pretty pricey. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like that. If it ain't a bargain, the money don't leave his wallet.
Yeah. I don't blame him. I'm a deal making guy myself, so I can respect that.
Anyway, make room for the next guy. I'll talk to you later. Have a blessed day, and I hope you and your family are doing it. Oh, by the way, one other thing, quick before I go.
Sure, yeah.
I put a posting up, and I got a response from Sauce Gardner, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
On his Messenger, the thing with the little zigzag thing, Facebook Messenger.
Oh
yeah,
yes.
I was.
Cool.
I mentioned that I'd been a longtime Jet fan, and I mentioned a bunch of the guys from the past, like Namath, O'Brien, the Sack Exchange, Aaron Glenn, all those other great guys, and I told him that it's been a while since I had a favorite Jet, but he's one of them, and he was very thankful that I included him amongst those Jet legends, and he said that he hopes that he could live up to it, and he's going to try his hardest. Yeah, it was a very nice message that he sent me back. He's a good kid.
Yeah.
And I said to him, don't worry about the interceptions. Just keep those players out of the end zone. The interceptions will come when they come. Just you do you.
That's awesome.
And I hope that he took that to heart, because a lot of people give him shit over that. And I'd much rather him bat a touchdown pass away than try to make an interception. If that doesn't sound too weird.
Yeah.
Well, but
interception. Yeah.
But the bottom line is his whole thing is he doesn't want the guy behind him to beat him, and I'm more about him keeping the points off the board, because just because you get an interception doesn't mean anything's going to happen. But if he bats down a touchdown pass, that's a batted down touchdown pass. So.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's great. I'm cool. It's very cool that Sauce reached out to you. We'll see. Yeah, Sauce is going to get that. It is what it is. He's got to create turnover, so that will be part of it. But the pass deflections are pretty good. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We got Hep here on the show. What's up, Hep?
Hey, Paul. Couple things. One is I've been thinking about Reddick and what's the whole idea behind this thing. I'm thinking, is he trying to hide? Maybe he's hurt or he's lost a step or something?
Maybe, but I mean, still, like, if that was true and I was Reddick, I would have collected my $14.25 million to at least get that.
Get
and
something.
then, You know,
Yeah.
So that again, it's bizarre. It's hard to rationalize. I've been trying to because I see Alan here is a massive Reddick supporter in the comments section, and I'm trying. I'm honestly, I'm trying to see Reddick's perspective, but it's hard to see.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to get to the point where it doesn't make sense to even bring him on the team, right? I mean, he'll need a couple of weeks. Well, if we get the playoffs, then he should be good.
Right, yeah. Then that
Yeah.
you get like an added bonus that you didn't have all year. Yeah, so that would be beneficial still. Yeah, no matter when.
Yeah.
Again, I prefer Reddick here today, but whenever he shows up, he would be a benefit because he's a really talented player. So sure, at any point he comes in, it'd be good. But obviously, I think we'd prefer it a little bit sooner rather than later. Honestly.
All right. Here's my bold prediction.
Oh, okay.
Reddick comes in week 8 along with Devontae.
Oh, baby. Okay, a discount double check. Okay, Hep. That's what
then
I'm
we'll put-
talking about.
And then we make our big push right into for our trophy.
There you go. Love
All
it,
right.
Hep.
Oh, listen, if you play my
Yeah.
song, don't
Yeah.
play it now, but if you play
Yeah.
it, just play it one time around. Don't play it 2 times around.
Okay, I
You
got
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
All right,
I
buddy.
got you. All right,
Love you.
good. All right, there you go. Personal request. We'll play it one time through. Here we go.
Boy green daily, boy green daily, boy green daily. Talking just football, man. Boy green daily, boy green daily, boy green daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. Jets, Jets. Boy Green.
There we go. Some Hep action, baby. One of my favorite jams. I sing that all the time in the car alone. I'm not sure if I should have admitted that publicly, but I said it. That did indeed happen. There we go, baby. Hep, one of our legendary callers calling in. We have nearly 1,000 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. We appreciate that as we're rocking and rolling here on a wonderful Monday here on the show. Again, the Jets playing 6 days. We got Denver Broncos at 1 o'clock. And yes, Terrence, I appreciate you and anyone else who's volunteered to help out with the tailgate next year. And yes, I will be 100% utilizing all of your guys' efforts. Again, join the Boy Green Coffee Club if you'd like to be a part of our special community. Again, you could do so in the YouTube description down below. Just click Join Boy Green Coffee Club here. Click that. And then you'll get all kinds of benefits, including our Discord, where I would like to discuss the possibility of an annual Boy Green tailgate and utilizing all of our superpowers, whether it's VR says he could do some DJing, or this person could do this person could do that. I think we could put all of our powers to use in the middle of the table and create something pretty special. And, of course, discuss eventually when we get there, dates, games of interest, and things of that nature, because I'd like to maximize the experience for everybody if we can make that happen. So that is in the holster for sure. Again, no more games this year. I got a pregnant fiance, so I will not be at any of the games this year for the Jets any more than what I already was, but we will be there in spirit, baby. So I'm looking to that. Like, for instance, I just see here, Card Cave Central, he went to culinary school. I can cook. So phenomenal. Great. And maybe we can chip in all kinds of money or something for the ingredients for CCC and come up with a menu or God knows what. But like I said, I think there's a lot of bubbling possibilities, and we could see some of the things that we'll put together. But we should have plenty of time to plan for it because, again, that'll be hopefully for the 2025 season and hopefully many years to come. All right, let's jump on over to the phone lines. It's one of your guys' favorites. Neil Sr. joins us on the show. What's up, Neil?
Morning, Paul. How are you?
Hey, we're 2-1 for the first time in 9 years. I'm feeling pretty good.
I watched the games. Yesterday was an incredible day. When there's no jet pressure.
Nope.
You sit down. You put Red Zone. You put the pregame on naturally. You look at all these different stars in the league. The Red Zone really gives you a perspective on what's out there.
Sure.
And first off, seeing Tim Boyle take snaps on the Miami Dolphins was one of the most glorious parts of my Sunday yesterday. Yeah. And he's the same Tim Boyle. I mean, man, oh man, for the league to still have a use for this guy after what any team witnessed last year, I cannot believe he is actually on a team. That was first thing.
Yeah, he was
Second thing,
7 for people who missed it. He was 7 of 13, 79 yards. Got sacked once at a 72 QBR for the Dolphins. They got blown out 24-3. The same score we blew out the Patriots by. Very nice. Go ahead, Neil.
another thing I observed, you know, the Raiders losing, you know, and you know, when my son likes to bet, you know, I did bet yesterday and I really screwed up. I had an absolute guarantee in my mind that the Giants were going to win the game. I just had it in my mind. I know from being like the Jet Giant thing, there was so much negative talk this week on the Giants. You know, if you listen to the fan and oh, this, oh, that, you know, and they really didn't play horribly the week before. They didn't punch it in, you know, and I saw Malik Neighbors looks like he's going to be a stud. And boy, did he show yesterday. What a game for this kid.
2 touchdowns. Yeah, very nice.
And, you know, the Giants have a legitimate three-headed monster on the defensive line. So,
For sure.
you know, and Singletary's not a bad back. Their offensive line holds up. I mean, the Giants should win. And now, and when you think about it, okay, if the Eagles lose that game last night, the Giants are tied for first place at 1 and 2 in the NFC.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, give me a break. And the Eagles, let me tell you something.
Sure, yeah.
I should have taken my money. This was my second option.
All right.
I took $500, which I usually is like my betting thing for like a month or two or whatever. I don't really bet a lot. In the playoffs, I lay it in. And then I do futures bets. I bet the Jets to win the championship, the Jets to win the Super Bowl. I implore everybody that's a Jet fan to do that because that will help soften the blow when your New Orleans tickets come up and, you know, you want to get to a Super Bowl one year. You know? So I'm 0 for about 40. I really should have kept the $500 or whatever I bet for the last 15 years and a little piggy bank. I would have had enough money for a ticket by now. I probably could have bought half the town, you know, with all the money I blew on the futures bet. But that's my insurance policy, you know, in case, you know, because I have to take my both boys, you know, and it's going to be 3 tickets. It's going to be a hotel. It's going to be a week before. It's going to be celebrations. It's going to be a case of Dom Perignon that tore on Aaron Rodgers' head when I walk down Broadway. You know, there's a lot involved in that dream that I have called the post-Super Bowl victory. Now, this is one thing I took a note. And I should have taken my 500 and my first bet, you know, because I like these future bets.
Sure.
I was going to take 500 and put it on Aaron Rodgers to win MVP at plus 1,800. Now, I think, you know, look, I was listening to Phil Simms and his son. I don't know if you saw that podcast.
No.
They were talking about the game. And, you know, Phil Simms is a smart guy, okay, great analyst, knows the quarterback position better than, you know, him and Orlovsky. You know, Orlovsky raves about Rodgers. Phil Simms and his son put a praise on Aaron Rodgers. And, you know, Phil Simms is not a Jet lover. Let's face it. You know, he's
definitely not. Right. Yeah.
And certainly not. It doesn't benefit him to be heaping praise on Aaron Rodgers when he's an ex-Giant because the Giants hate us, you know. So
naturally,
for him to do, and the 2 things he made notice of that I think we kind of overlook. He said, look, he looked fast and he looked stronger than I've seen him in at least 5 to 7 years.
Wow.
And for him to say that, you know, Phil Simms is looking at the mechanics. You know, he's not looking at the plays like we look at and what happens here. He's looking at Rodgers' mechanics. He's looking at what he does and how he moves, and he's projecting what kind of player he could be moving forward. And when I heard this whole thing from Phil Simms, I got juiced up. I said, what are the MVP odds on Aaron Rodgers? They were 1,800. I said, Jesus Christ, $500. it's $7,500. That goes a long way, towards my little Super Bowl pot. And then I looked at who's ahead of him. Jalen Hurts is plus 1,200.
Yeah.
Now, watching that performance yesterday, Jalen Hurts is playing like dirt. I mean, he stinks.
Mm-hmm.
You agree, Paul? I mean, he looked like
I didn't see a lot. Yeah, there was only a couple of
middle of
plays that he was
last
moving
year.
around. Yeah.
No, since the middle of last year, I think
Okay.
he started to look very pedestrian. I think the defensive coordinators have figured out a way to attack him that he really isn't ready for. I really see him having coming back to earth, so to speak. I don't definitely see him being in any MVP conversations, especially after the first 3 games. He's certainly not even on that list. So let's move Rodgers up from number 5, where he is now, to number 4. Number 3 is CJ Stroud at plus 900. Another one where, come on.
I mean, he looked awful against Minnesota. I mean, he looked
awful. Isn't even explain it. He
Yeah.
looks like he couldn't shine Sam Darnold's shoes, for Christ's sake. It was a horror. Bouncing passes, not confident. He just looked like the game that he played against us. And,
which I'm hoping to see again later this year.
30-7 game, right? He
beat
he had a
down.
run. Minnesota's defense kind of surprised me. They look pretty damn good, And,
Sure.
although I'm still waiting for the glass slipper and the pumpkin. I'm looking for the carriage to turn into midnight for Sam Darnold. I'm still not convinced.
Look for it in London. Look for it in London. I said look for it in London week 5.
I'm hoping maybe next week before London. Who they play next week?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me take an old peek ski here on that. Let's see. Who does the Vikings have? Here we go. The Vikings have next week Green Bay in Lambeau.
Oh, there you go. There's where the Cinderella. There's where the pumpkin comes in. And
maybe. No Jordan Love probably, but
yeah. And Green Bay has a very similar. We do a lot with Green Bay. We could copy if they have a very successful game. Look, if they go into Green Bay and beat Green Bay, not to mention, Sam Darnold is not aware of the fact of that rivalry with Minnesota and Green Bay. He's not used to these, that is a really Minnesota one.
Sure.
That?
I said, it's historic. Yeah. That's one of the
he is going to get 100% effort out of Green Bay. They have that one circled. They have the Green Bay running back, right? They have
Aaron Jones, correct?
Aaron Jones. A lot of storylines in that game. We're going to see Sam Darnold in the national spotlight. That's probably got to be a Sunday night game or something. That's going to be a big game.
It's just a 1 o'clock game. Yeah, it's just a 1 o'clock game. Yeah.
That seems to me, Green Bay looks really good. They won with Malik. Now they're bringing Love back. That's a great storyline. Sam Darnold is just wiping the floor with everybody. He looks 4 touchdowns yesterday.
Pretty good.
Great storyline, right, Paul?
Yeah, no doubt about it. It is a very good storyline, Neil. And we'll see. Again, that one's right around the corner for Jets. That'll be week 5. I already saw him promoting it yesterday on television, 9:30. That is Jets Vikings week 5. We'll get, of course, Jets Broncos coming up here in week 4, 1 o'clock game. Let's go to a new caller here. We got NY Jets FL here on the show. What's up, buddy?
Paul, good morning. Neil, a couple of things real quick. If you get a chance, watch the John Gruden podcast. That guy's just
I love that. I've been watching it, man. I love it.
It's so good. It's not only educational, it's very entertaining. On top of it, he's quite the character. And let me say this: the Denver game got a lot harder after seeing their performance against Tampa, because I live down here, and that defense was flying around. I think that defense is a little under the radar. So, but Bo Nix is a young quarterback. We'll see how that goes. Was your original topic about
Oh yeah, Bryce
Young, 'cause
Young.
I don't want any
So
part of that guy.
yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that up because we have 1,000 people in the room. So appreciate the 1,000 people in the room. Yeah, the Dan Graziano, ESPN NFL insider, said don't sleep on the Jets being a landing spot for Bryce Young if he becomes available via trade. And while the Panthers have said publicly he ain't going to be traded, Adam Schefter said it seems like it's only a matter of time. All those details are in the article down in the YouTube description down below. If you guys prefer to read that. While we are dancing through a variety of topics here. But yes, basically that Bryce Young could land with the Jets via trade for like half a Dorito bag maybe, and maybe the long-term successor to Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
I'd say hard pass on that, unless you want to convert him to a slot receiver. Can we convert him to a slot receiver? Maybe. Has he got any hands on him?
I don't know about the hands. I'm unclear on that. Unclear on hands.
Yeah, he's Kyler Murray light. Like he's worse than Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray is probably slightly above average. I don't want a small quarterback in the AFC. Plus, I don't know how great his arm is, quite honestly, throwing through those wins in that in December and January. So I don't know.
That's fair.
That would be if you want to try a 6th rounder or 5th, maybe. But
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I want to make this clear. If it's anything in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round range, that seems a little rich. But based on him, the Panthers benching him, giving up on him, and everything included, seeing all the Mac Jones went for a 6 and he had a Pro Bowl year, right? Like think about that. Mac Jones was traded and all they got back was a 6 or 7 round pick, and I'm pretty sure there was a pick swap. So Bryce Young, I would imagine, and he didn't have that level of success in the NFL. I imagine that's what we're talking about here. So for a throw a dart, if it works out, great. You have a franchise quarterback. If it doesn't, he sucks. You move on. That seems like low risk, high reward. I like those kind of moves.
Yeah, maybe I could see it. If it's a late rounder, why not? Maybe we take a chance on him, see what we got.
Yeah. Sure.
I think I agree with Neil. I think the Vikings come back to reality this week because I watched some of that Packers Titans game.
That defense.
And I know that's my point. That defense was ridiculous yesterday. I know it's Will Levis, but Will Levis took a lot of hits. I mean, that defense was ridiculous yesterday. So NFL interesting week to week. I mean, look at the 0-2 teams that won, right? I mean, it's crazy. Oh, just an aside. If you ever go to a restaurant called the Melting Pot, turn right around, because basically you okay. Let me give you the quick scenario. This was for a friend's birthday. It's my friend's wife's birthday.
Okay.
You sit around and you get like 3 choices of cheese. It's not fondue. What's that called in a pot? You dip.
I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Then you dip bread in it, and it's pitch black too. You can barely see each other. Then you get to the meats ball. You got chicken, steak, and salmon that you have to put in boiled water, like these boiled things. You can't see if they're cooked. So you have to cook all your food, and then you start cutting your meat open, and it's like bloody red, and you're like, it's the stupidest concept I've ever seen in my life. So it takes you 3 hours to have a meal and to cook your own food. Go ahead.
No, real quick. When did we start becoming employees? Right? We go to the grocery store. Why don't you check yourself out? What? Here, why don't you cook your own food? This is the first time I've heard a restaurant ooh, hey, how about this? We'll put a grill in front of you and you cook your food and then we'll charge you for it. What the hell? When did we become employees? When did that experience change? That seems odd. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, Melting Pot is definitely not a place you want to go and have a nice
I
meal.
will avoid that.
And relax.
I'm putting that in my notes.
Holy moly. Yeah, waking up at 5 a.m. with a stomach ache is not good either.
Ooh,
yeah, let me say this. Let's frustrate Bo Nix. He's still Bo Nix. He may have looked good for 1 week, but we probably have a better defense than Tampa. Quite honestly,
for sure.
Their secondary is banged up. So they may have looked good 1 week, but it's another week in the NFL, Paul, as you know. So have a good one.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, NY Jets FL, for joining us. Real quick, we'll get back to the phone lines, but I know we got a lot of Mets fans in here. So, quick update on NL wildcard race. So, the Mets have the second wildcard spot right now, and it's important to note they have the head-to-head tiebreaker both against Arizona, who they're tied with, so they're above them, and they have the head-to-head tiebreaker against San Diego. Now, it doesn't matter because San Diego is 3 games up, but that's the thing to keep an eye out for. They have the head-to-head tiebreaker over both the San Diego Padres and the Arizona Diamondbacks. And then the Atlanta Braves series obviously is the one that's going to decide that tiebreaker with the New York Mets. And when you look at it for the Mets, they got 6 games left, 3 at Atlanta, 3 at Milwaukee. And here's the other good news, Met fans. San Diego plays Arizona in the final 3 games of the regular season. So someone's got to lose, someone's got to win. That's good news for Mets fans because those are who you're also competing with. So we keep talking about the Braves, and that's true. They're on the outside looking in. But Arizona and San Diego, who are also around you, they're battling each other. So again, someone's got to win, someone's got to lose. That's good news for the Mets. I like the Mets' chances of potentially getting in there to make some noise as it pertains to all things with the NL wildcard race. So Mets. Someone asked me a question about Luis Angel Acuna. Who was that? Let me see if I can find you real quick before we get to the phone lines. I do cover the Syracuse Mets. That's my other job. Let me see if I can find that. Here it is. I do cover the Syracuse Mets. I've been with the team since March, and I've actually been covering the team for the last 9 years behind the scenes, working with the Syracuse Mets at the radio station. So Luis Angel Acuna, he's a stealing freak. He's young. He's got great power. He's got juice. I love him, man. And he's just been a lot of fun. He's been a lot of fun here locally in Syracuse, and I'm glad that Parent Club is what we call it. New York Mets fans are enjoying Acuna, man. He is a boatload of fun. Now, sometimes he gets in trouble when he's trying to steal a cajillion bases. While he has a lot of success with stolen bases, he's also been caught the most. That's because the most amount of reps. So he is a super fun player. You guys are going to love him. He was super fun to cover here, and obviously he's got great genes, man. So yeah, METS, Mets. There we go. Not normally a Mets guy, but I can share what I can with all things Syracuse Mets. Our season just ended over this past weekend. Yesterday is when the Syracuse Mets season ended. So I will be back with the Syracuse Mets next March. Anywho, let's go back to the phone lines. We got our boy B-Mac on the program. What's up, B-Mac? Whoa.
Hey,
Did
Paul.
you get new lighting or something? What's going on there? You look bright.
Oh, no, it's pretty.
Oh wow, and your door's
normal to
open. I
me.
could see, and your door's open. I could see other rooms to your house now. How big is this mansion you got here?
Yeah, it's not. It's a apartment.
Oh, an
and
apartment.
it's
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I had a mansion, but no.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
not.
Yeah, to be honest with you,
I'm not rich like
that'd be
that,
nice.
man. But
Yeah, me either. But
I
yeah,
mean,
we're doing what we
we
can.
can. Yeah, I mean, we can't be millionaires all the time.
Of course,
Nice.
that makes sense. Yeah, right. Yeah.
But
Yeah, but
I
what's
just
on
want to
your
say
mind,
good
buddy?
morning to you. Yeah,
Good
good
morning.
morning
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of I don't I want to say to calm down on the Sam Darnold hype train a
Ooh.
little bit.
Are you guys going to take care of him this week when they come into Lambeau?
I mean, yeah, I mean, we saw what we did to the Tennessee Titans. I mean,
That's true. Yeah, you beat him with a wrench. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that was from Will Levis, man. Like Will Levis,
That's a good point.
like Michael Vick out there, man, running around, and it was crazy. But next week we should have Jordan Love back, and
Oh yeah.
I think,
Great. Good for you guys.
yeah. Well, we should. I don't know. I mean, he could. I mean,
okay.
It depends, but
yeah,
I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I just think that the Vikings are going to come back to reality. And I think their losing streak starts next week. But well, congratulations to Sam Darnold on his Mickey Mouse, statement. I mean, his Mickey Mouse performance.
wow.
The last 3, the first 3 weeks. But I just think people need to come down on the Sam Darnold hype train, because we've seen this before, and the results wasn't that great. So.
Okay.
And then the one thing is that the Bryce Young thing.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I just think that we got to stop this thing that put put a quarterback behind Aaron Rodgers and he can magically turn into something great. Like I just think that they did it with Zach Wilson. You saw how that turned out. I know Jordan Love, benefited from it, but I just think that someone said that ball is ball. It doesn't matter who you sit behind. If you're a baller, no matter what, you're gonna ball. And
that makes sense.
And it seems like look, man, Zach Wilson. People knew who Zach Wilson was, before Rodgers got to the Jets, and people knew. My apologies.
Thank you. There we go. I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to wait for you. Okay, there we go. Nice.
My apologies.
That looks much better. Yeah.
Sorry, chat, if I have to, But
that's okay.
Yeah. But look, man, I just think that this if my strategy is that, this year, just try to draft another quarterback, maybe in the second round, or maybe. Because I think Rodgers is going to play for 2 years. I think he's going to do it this year, and then he's going to do it the next year.
Yeah, I think that's and then we can talk. Yeah, I think it's 2 years minimum. It's this year, next year, and then let's talk. Yes.
Yeah, and then the second round, I think he's maybe draft a quarterback. Bryce Young.
Okay.
I mean, I just call what it is. I think the guy's a bust. And
fair enough.
It's okay to say that, like
no, for sure.
Protecting these young quarterbacks, and make them victims.
Yeah.
Right. Bad so good not. Just, And then the one thing is that I'm so sick and tired of when every time Rodgers does something, people got make a big thing about it. Like the whole Rodgers and Salah scuffling on the sideline.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when Rodgers said that Salah gave him a hug and Rodgers kind of pulled him back and said 2-score lead. Like everybody just took that and just ran with it. And
people were showing me that. So I was at MetLife Stadium on Thursday night for the game, and people in the middle of the game said, "Paul, did you see this?" And they showed me the clip, and I'm like, I don't friggin' care about that crap. It's some stupid thing they have going on. Let's worry about the game. We're kicking ass. We're doing all this stuff. I didn't care about that at all. And then after the game, we hear the Rodgers and Salah speak on it, and it's a whole bag of nothing. So people overreact to stupid stuff.
Yeah, and just call it as it is. You don't like the guy because of COVID. That's it. Call it as it is. All right. You know what I mean? Stop making up these narratives, these false narratives. Oh, well, Rodgers a jerk. Rodgers a diva. Oh my God, trouble in paradise. Like just explain how you truly feel. And if that was Tom Brady, if Tom Brady did something like that, he's seen Tom Brady on the sideline cussing out Josh McDaniels when he was with the Patriots. And nobody said a bleep about that. Oh, Tom Brady, he's a competitor. Tom Brady is a fierce competitor. This is what makes Tom Brady so great. You know what I mean? But no, when Rodgers does it, diva. Like the double standard for this guy is crazy. You know what I mean? Like Kobe Bryant, Mamba mentality, Rodgers. I just don't get it. So what you take on this whole Rodgers and scuffle thing?
To me, like I said, I said in the moment, again, I was enjoying the game, and I was sitting with 25 fans, so shout out to the Boy Green Dailies and the Nick Shine people and all the Jet fans that said, hey, let's all sit together. And I can't remember who it was, but someone showed it to me as we're watching the game. Oh, my gosh, did you see this? It's going viral. And I said, that's stupid. I don't care, is what I said. And then I said, let's just keep kicking the Patriots' ass, and then we can see that later. I don't care, and I don't think I'm going to care. Then after I heard Rodgers explain it and Salah explain it, I'm like, okay, a whole bag of nothing. Didn't matter. So absolute bag of nothing as far as I'm concerned. Didn't care one way or the other, and it's fine. Again, that's a story. If the Jets are losing 24-3, oh, wow, trouble in paradise. Look at these two fighting, arguing. They're winning 24-3. They're goofing around with each other. Aaron Rodgers is a unique individual. I don't have to tell anybody else that. Again, you can't see it because I've got this, Boy Green name thing here. But right immediately behind this logo thing is the Aaron Rodgers book. And it talks about how different Aaron Rodgers is as a person. And it's fine for people to be different. But I know some people aren't going to jive with that. And people are going to overreact to things. To me, he just has a weird communication skills, and they were just weirdly communicating in their own weird way. I don't know. I don't know Aaron Rodgers personally. I don't know Salah personally. So they both explained it as, hey, it was a goofy thing that we do. Okay, boom. To me, it was over in that very moment.
And then one more thing real quick.
Sure.
Since the Raiders lost and Devontae looked miserable, can you see the possibility that the Jets get him at the trade deadline if things keep going bad?
I absolutely can. The Raiders just got blown out by the Carolina Panthers, who look like they were destined to get the number 1 pick in the 2025 NFL draft. Absolutely, I can. Mike Williams looks like he's getting healthier. Garrett, I think, is eventually going to be integrated into the offense, but you can't have enough pieces. You never know when an injury is going to hit. So 100% I can see that happening. Devontae coming on over. Again, if the Raiders realize, even though it's been crazy, right? They lose to Carolina, but they beat Baltimore. In Baltimore, you never know what's going to happen. This league's awesome. But if they're sucking and they go to the deadline, they're like, damn, like we're going in this direction and Devontae is only getting older. We might as well maximize the asset and try to trade him for something that can help us in the future. If I was the Raiders, that's what I would say. Now, people are going to say I'm biased because I'm a Jets fan. And sure, that's true because I want Devontae. But like, if I'm the Raiders, you have to realize what you are. And the Raiders are not winning the Super Bowl this year. And Devontae is only going to get older, and eventually his skills will diminish and will disappear. And if you're the Raiders, do you want that expiring on your bag, or do you want to get rid of him? Get some asset. I don't know what it looks like. Is it a second? Is it a third? Is it a fourth? I have no idea what the package would be, but get it for that, and you have a pick that can hopefully help you out in your future. So 100% I could see it.
Yeah. Well, that's all for today. Thank you, Pablo Green. You're the man.
Damn straight. I appreciate you, B-Mac. Thank you for being a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to the 1,100 people here in the room. Again, no matter where you're watching, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, we got a full article in the YouTube description down below talking about this very juicy rumor of Bryce Young, Jets, Panthers trade, perhaps. Could the Panthers hit the old eject button on Bryce Young, and why not the Jets? That was from ESPN NFL insider Dan Graziano, said, don't sleep on the Jets as a landing spot for old Bryce Young if he gets moved, and it makes sense on paper. The Jets have Aaron Rodgers. They have Tyrod Taylor. But who's the future quarterback? Is it Jordan Travis? Maybe. He was a late 5th-round draft choice. He could be the guy. There's a big chance he's not the guy. So why not continuing to put darts in there until you find the guy? Again, I don't really care about the future right now. I care about the right now. I want to win the Super Bowl right now. But I'm not the general manager. Joe Douglas is the general manager. He's the one that's supposed to be thinking about all things at once. The present, the future, everything. 5 steps ahead. That's his job. And if you could get Bryce Young for a half-eaten Snickers bar, which it sounds like would be the cost, a mid to late round pick, why not explore it? Why not investigate it? Why not do your homework on it? There's a chance that Bryce Young's a bust. There's also a chance he was in a crappy situation and anyone would have failed. It's up to the Jets to determine that before the trade to figure out if that's something they'd be interested in. But it kind of sparked my interest when Dan Graziano said, don't sleep on the Jets. I'm like, oh, interesting. Now, me personally, to be honest with you, Bryce Young, fellow short guy, I did not think Bryce Young was going to be a great success in the NFL. But obviously, everyone in the NFL thought he was going to be the number 1 overall pick in the 2023 NFL draft. People were not on the CJ Stroud train. People got lucky with the CJ Stroud evaluation that ultimately led him to being the quarterback for Houston. They got lucky where he ended up there. But Bryce Young obviously has the talent. He's got the smarts. He's a good processor. That was his calling card coming out of Alabama, that he processes things very quickly, and he seems like in his system he would be very good. And Aaron Rodgers obviously has all kinds of wisdom to impart, and he thought really highly of the kid, and they share the same agent. Again, if this is anything crazy, a 2nd-round pick, a 3rd-round pick, a whatever, to me, absolutely no interest. I only have interest if they're basically getting rid of him and paying a big chunk of the money. I'd be interested in why not kicking the tires. What do you have to lose? Well, everybody, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. If you're watching on Twitter or Facebook, make sure you jump over to the YouTube page right now. Open up a new tab. If you're on your phone, jump on over to it. It's youtube.com/BoyGreen25. We do a live show every single day at 7:30 in the morning. This is called Boy Green Daily. We talk all things New York Jets, and you don't want to miss it. We have great guests. We just had Mike Greenberg on a handful of weeks ago. We've had former players on. Jerko Katri has joined us over the last handful of weeks. NFL media personalities. Anything and everything is always possible on this program. We're getting closer and closer to 7,000 subscribers, which would be awesome. We can hit that sooner rather than later. Thank you to the 1,200 people in the room. We appreciate you. We'll be back on tomorrow morning for another episode of Boy Green Daily. Thanks, everybody, and take care.